Okay, so we're off. So today, the first thing we're going to do is revisit our friend the ruler. And slightly upgrade the ruler that we did before. So, anybody, I'll tell you it's the inches ruler because we did a couple different rulers, and this is just the beginning of the drawing. Recollection of what number should go with this giantess mark?
Is it 1/2?
It is not. That's 1. And this giantess mark is 2. And if I threw another giantess mark, if I wanted to do more space, that one would be 3. I didn't draw the half mark yet. If I want to draw the half mark, where would I draw it and how?
So you draw a smaller line than those 2 ones and you put them in between the
Okay,
big
so
ones.
like would this work?
No,
No. Where exactly in between?
in the middle.
Right in the middle. So I'd go right in the middle of the start and the 1, and I would draw a mark. Tell me when to stop drawing my mark.
Stop.
I'd say right about there, yeah. Why did we stop there?
It's half.
It's half as big. We want that to be half as big as the biggest. So if the biggest is this big, cut it in half, maybe right around there. So this would be my half line. Go over here, what would this line be for?
1.5.
1.5. And we'll keep drawing. Then what do I want to go? How would I want to keep drawing my ruler?
1/4.
Start doing fourths. So where are the fourths going to go?
In between the 1/2 and the 0.
And when I draw them, they're going to be
Half as tall.
half as tall. So I'm going to go something like that, something like this, something like that, something like this. This is 1/4. What's this?
3/4.
3/4. So what's this?
1 and
1 and 1/4.
1 and 3/4.
So last time we saw a ruler, that's as far as we went. Today we're going to go one more step. So what am I going to do now to go one more step today?
1/8.
We're going to go into eighths. So how am I going to do those?
You're going to put them in between the 1/4 and the 0.
And how tall are they going to be?
Half of the
Half of
1/4.
those. So I'm going to go half of what I just did. I'm going to do a bunch of marks like this. Zip, 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 zip. All of these have to do something with eighths, these babies. Thought on this one? 1/8.
2.
Not 2/8. 3/8. Why is there not a 2/8?
1/4.
It became a 4th. When we go to do this, the tops always need to be odds. The bottom is going to be something out of, for now, 2, 4, or 8. But these baby marks will be 8s. That's 3/8. This would be 4/8 reduced to a half. So 5/8,
7/8.
7/8, because the 6/8 became 3/4. Question about that set? So what's this then? 1, and start over with 1/8.
1 and
1
3/8.
3/8.
1 and 5/8. And 1 and 7/8.
Agreed. And those markings will just continue forever. The next mark, if I wanted to continue my ruler, would be a 2 and 1/8, 2 and a 4th, 2 and 3/8. It'd go forever if we wanted it to. And that's where today will stop. Some other day, we'll come back to this and I'll go again smaller and split all of these in half with lots and lots of marks, and those are 16ths. And that's where most rulers stop. That's where our 7th grade book ruler will stop. I think I have one ruler in my cabinet that'll go even one more. What would the 16ths get split into?
1/32.
32s, yeah. Question about that. That's not the main thing of the day, but we need to just go through that because it's just, you're going to spend your life measuring stuff, but you need to know how to do it. Question about measurement, inch measurements. Okay, the main theme of the day, in other people's books, they're going to call this making equivalence fractions. In our book, because I guess they're figuring you're younger people, you might like a cutesy name for this. Our book will call this the name changer machine. So if you're in our school talking about the name changer machine, I know what you mean. If you transfer schools and start talking to your new teacher about the name changer machine, they're going to look at you kind of funny. So this is not like the official worldwide name of this is not the name changer machine. The worldwide name for this is creating equivalent fractions. But the idea is if I give you a fraction like 2/3 There's lots of other fractions that are the same as 2/3. And sometimes there's a need to create one of those, and that'll be coming up in future days. But can anybody create a fraction that's equivalent to 2/3? It's the same amount of stuff, but just it looks different?
4 and 6.
4/6 is correct. So if you got a birthday cake and your mom cut it into 3 pieces and gave you 2, you got a good bit of cake there. It's the same as if your mom cut it into 6 pieces and gave you 4. You'd have smaller pieces, but you'd eat the same amount of cake. Okay? 4/6 is the same as 2/3. What we've done before is move in this direction. What was it called when we moved in that direction?
Reducing.
Reducing. How did we reduce? What was the rule on reducing?
We would take a number that could divide into the top and the bottom.
We were dividing the top and the bottom by the same number. So if we're reversing that today, this is the opposite of reducing we're doing. If reducing was caused by dividing, what we're doing today is
Timesing it by 2.
we're multiplying. In this case by 2, does it always have to be by 2? No.
No.
We just have to multiply the top and multiply the bottom by the same number. Doesn't matter what the number even is. So our first one out of the gate, we multiplied both of these by 2 and we made new things. Somebody make another one?
8/12.
8/12. This time he multiplied by 4. If you multiply the top by 4, you multiply the bottom by 4. And we got 8/12. A different voice. Give me another fraction that 2/3 could turn into.
16/24.
We could, yeah, multiply the top by 8. So multiply the bottom by 8. Or maybe what he just did is multiply this one by 2. You could work from these to continue to build, or you could work back from the original. That doesn't really matter. Can you make a fraction? Basically, pick any number you want to multiply and just multiply them both. Click on you. Can you make one?
18 over 27.
That can work. Okay, so he multiplied by 9s. If you multiply the top by 9, that turns into 18. Multiply the bottom by 9, that turns into 27. You can multiply by any number you want. Flash back to you. How about multiply by 5? Just multiply them both by 5. 10. Agreed. Try one more time. You pick the number. Pick any number. Multiply them both. Okay, we have the 8 one already. We multiplied so far by 2s, by 4s, by 8s, by 9s, by 5s. Something else. Okay, you can multiply, you're gonna make 12? Okay, so if you make 12, that's fine. You multiply by, that'll be 18. Yep, that's all fine. We're all good. And we could do that all day, because you could pick literally any number in the world. If you wanted to check them, how could you? How could you check those to make sure they were indeed 2/3?
Oh, divide them.
Yeah, you can just divide and reduce them back down. Question about the idea?
48.
Am I still on camera when I'm in this group? Do I still
Yeah.
fit? Okay. So the homework problems to test this idea could be laid out 2 ways. They could say 3/5 times the mystery box equals 6/10 and make you figure out what the mystery box is. The first time we do this, almost everybody is going to say the wrong thing for the mystery box. Anybody brave enough to try?
2.
He says 2. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2.
He says 2. She says 2.
2 over 2.
2 over 2 is the correct thing. We're not multiplying by 2. we're multiplying the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. And that's different, and here's the moment where I'll explain why they call this the name changer machine. What's 2 over 2, really? It is 1. When you multiply by 1, what happens in math if you have a number and you multiply by 1?
It stays that number.
It stays that number. And that's what we want to happen. We have a fraction, we want it to stay that number, we just want it to look different. Okay? So some of you probably have different names for yourselves, or if you don't, you will someday. Maybe you're Eli, maybe somebody decides to shorten your name and just call you E, and you might still know that that's your name. Maybe if you're in trouble with your mom, you become Eli, whatever your middle name is, when your mom starts yelling at you if you're in trouble. You know, maybe you have to sign a legal document and your Eli, middle name, last name, all needs on that document. But no matter what you're called or what name gets used, you're still the same person. Those are all they're just different names. They just look a little different, but you're still you. Okay? All of these fractions, they're all the same. Okay? It's all the same amount of stuff. If you got 12 out of 18 on a quiz, that's the same grade as 10 out of 15, or 18 out of 27, or 16 out of 24, or 8 over 12, 4 over 6. All of that, you got 2/3 of the points. Those are all the same grades. They just look a little different. And that's what the goal of this name changer machine is. The goal is just change the name. Don't change the number. So if you multiply by 2 over 2, you multiply by 1. You haven't really changed it. It's still the same. It just has a new name. That's all. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, so that's why the book calls it that, but it's also called equivalent fraction. So I fooled you once, I probably won't fool you twice. For this one, the mystery box would be 4 on top of 4, because we multiplied the top by 4 and the bottom by 4. It can't just be 4 itself, because any number you take and multiply by 4, it gets bigger. Okay, so if we just multiply by 4, we're getting a bigger thing. We don't want to get a bigger thing. We want the same thing. We just want the name to change. Another way the question could work is they could do part of the multiplication for you. So here I came along, and I already did the multiply on the bottom. You have to figure out, what did I multiply by on the bottom? And that is,
10.
I turned 5 into 20. So I multiplied by 4. So if I multiply the bottom by 4, you have to multiply the top by 4. And that's going to turn into
8.
8. Next problem, I came along and I attacked the top. On top, I already multiplied. Who did I multiply on top? 9 is correct. So multiply 9 on the bottom. 72 is correct. This last one, I already came along, I already attacked the bottom. I multiplied by 6, so you match that, and the top becomes 30. And that's the main theme of today, is doing that. We're going to need to do this in the future as part of a larger process. It'll be one step of like a multi-step process in an upcoming day. So for now, we need to master this. But that's the name of the game. If you multiply top and bottom by the same number, you are good. Homework page, we're going 2 places. We're going to start on 97. 97, we're just going to do the letters. There's an A to H. It's going to be these. It's going to be name changer machine problems on the 97 letters. 99, we're going to do the letters. 99, the letters is A to F. What they're going to do is give you a ruler, and they're going to put the letters on the ruler, like A, B, C, and you come up with the number that goes with the line they mark. And then there's no set in the back. It's been a while since we've done a page, okay? But we're going to just go page 100. We'll do a 1 to 25. It's going to be a little bit of old, a little bit of new. Lately, every other assignment's been a set in the back. They're all the same. This will be one of the more like mixed sets. So can you shut that down on the record? That used to be your job.
Yeah. Can I bring my markers back from Jacob?
Sure.